Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of One Roll at a Time. I'm Juan,
I'm Marty.
aka Professor Marty. I'm gonna make a shit of that.
Yeah.
It's the intro.
Yeah.
But thank you guys. First off, shout out to all the support that we've been getting. So much love.
It's been great.
I didn't expect it. How's it making you feel, all the warm fuzzies?
It feels really good. And it feels genuine. And
Hmm.
that's what I think is so special about it.
Yeah. No, yeah. I like it too because I appreciate the love from you guys because I'm just like you guys. I'm no one special, but I just want to share and learn, right? And it's cool that we got this special time with Professor Marty where we can ask some questions and learn and grow together. And what we're doing on today's episode is going to be we're going to have two focuses for this podcast. When Marty and I talk, we want to talk about things that someone who no one in jiu-jitsu or someone who has never done jiu-jitsu before, questions that they might have or want to ask to kind of again demystify jiu-jitsu, especially like the class experience. And then the other half of the podcast focus is like for people who are already doing it, right? So you'll tend to notice that these first episodes where we're really explaining what's going to happen, for some of you it might already be already know this, right? So you guys can skip to a future segment of the podcast. But it's also for those people who remember have never done jujitsu before, and also eh, we might even learn something. So be open to it, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
any move, right? Once you
Yeah.
know a move, to go back.
Yeah. You can go back to it 600 different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I remember a story. I went to a seminar when I was a white belt, and the black belt that was teaching the seminar, he was like, "I'm going to teach you guys the cross choke." And I was like,
Mm.
"I've been doing jujitsu for like 9 months. I've already been taught the cross choke." But he said, I never really understood the cross choke until I became a black belt. And he retaught it with a bunch of details that I hadn't seen before.
Hmm.
And that was like the first moment that I realized I was going to learn something and then not really understand it or learn it again in a better way, like way later.
Correct.
And it was a great experience.
Yeah. And I'm like, again, we always say like everything in life, jujitsu applies to it, right? Like once you're closed off and think you're an expert in something, you stop growing, you stop
Yeah.
adapting. And you told me, especially in jujitsu, like when you took breaks,
Yeah.
right? You came back and it was a different game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so you might even learn something for like, hey, how to approach your first class, even if it's not your first class. And right now we're actually going to start off the first segment. In the beginning, it's going to be the first kids. Like if you're a kid,
Yeah.
what should you be expecting as a kid, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to use a little time travel machine, and we're going to get a kid in here, and I'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Rebecca, and I have a question for Professor Marty. What should you do if you're a kid and you're nervous about jujitsu?
If you're nervous about jujitsu, that's a really good question because just about everybody who tries jujitsu is always nervous the first time, even for like the first couple of months. Actually, for me, it was like a lot of years. Sometimes I'm still nervous when I come in. But I think if you're a kid and you're nervous about jujitsu for the first time, make sure that you stay really close to one of the coaches, me or Coach Juan or Coach Tyson or Coach Wayland or Coach Ben, because we'll help you find your way around the class and pair you up with good partners who are going to take care of you. We're going to talk to you about expectations. And each time we do a new drill or we do a new game, we'll break it down for you and explain it to you. And we'll even partner with you. Like today, Coach Adrian partnered with Luca when we were playing dodgeball to make sure that he felt comfortable playing the game. And those are the things that we're going to do to try to help you feel more um, welcomed into the class.
The next question is, what should you wear to your first class?
So, what you should wear to your first class is something comfortable. Sandals is a really good idea because you're going to be taking them off before you step onto the mat. You don't want something clunky that you have to figure out and untie and retie when you leave. So, wear sandals. And then, usually, just like some shorts and a t shirt for your first class, because then we're probably going to put you in a loner gi. So, you want to be able to change quickly into the gi that we're going to give you to wear for class.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have another question. What can you expect from the class flow?
So the way it typically works is we have all the kids come onto that. Well, before that, if we're talking about the first day, I have a conversation with every kid, every new person who starts the class with us, and I talk to you about how important it is to take everything that you do on the mats very seriously. because what we do and what we learn is dangerous. We're going to teach you how to choke people. We're going to teach you how to manipulate joints to break arms and things like that. So you have to be mature and you have to be serious about what you're going to do. So I talked to you about that for a few minutes before you start class. I teach you how to bow on the mats and why we do it, which is to say that you respect what you're going to do here and you respect everyone that you're going to be training with every time that you step on or off the mat. So that's going to be the first few minutes when you come in. After you get onto the mats, we're going to have you line up on the wall. We're going to say hi to everybody, welcome everyone. Then we're going to bow and we're going to have a warm up, which will start with some jogging and some skipping and some side steps and things like that. And then we'll do more of a warm up where you'll learn strips and you'll learn rolls and things like that. And then throughout the class, we break up into different games. So we play a game after the warm up, usually like freeze tag or dodgeball or something like that. Then we learn a technique. We all circle up and we go over a technique and we drill that with our partners. And then we come back and we show it for everybody so that the coaches can critique and help you make sure that you're doing it right. Then we'll usually play another game to make sure that we're getting out all the energy. And then we usually finish class by doing some kind of rolling, rolling, or sparring. We usually call it rolling. And we'll do some format, either like King of the Hill, where today we did everybody started standing and whoever took down the other person first won. And then we rotated. Or we'll do full rolling, where you'll get on the ground and you'll start in a position, you'll roll to get points or you'll roll to get submission. And at the end of the class, we all bow, shake hands, and that's the day. It's an hour class.
Speaking of games, what games are still in the kids' class?
Man, we have some great games. My favorite game is Sprawl Ball, where everybody circles up and we roll a yoga ball at you and you have to jump and bounce off of it. And then there's Freeze Tag, another one of my favorites, where we all line up and there's a few people that tag and everybody runs across and you get tagged and you have to freeze. But the kids can save each other by picking you up and carry you across or calm between your legs. And then the all-time favorite everybody loves is Dodgeball. It's also one of my favorites when the coaches team up against the kids. That's one of the funnest and most exciting to watch. But there's a lot. We play Tug of War. We play Sharks and Minnows. We play Epidemic. There's a bunch of different games that we play. And we try to mix it up and make sure that there's always new games.
Yeah, my favorite game is the belt game. Or
I love that game too.
The belt.
We have to steal the belts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you like digit?
I know.
What emotions and feelings do you see during the first class?
Usually, kids that are trying the class for the first time experience either you really, really love it and you're just having fun from start to finish, or there's some kids who are not used to being in situations that they've never experienced before and it's very stressful. And so you'll see some kids who are crying and are upset because they don't understand the situation that they're in and that it's not dangerous and that it's all meant to be fun. And so the coaches will spend a lot of time with those kids to help you understand and make sure that you feel safe. But it's usually one of those two.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great questions.
What would you say to the kids or parents that are nervous about starting jiu-jitsu?
Well, for the kids, I would say you're probably going to come in here and meet one of your best friends for a long time. And so even though you're nervous, you should still try to come in because there's so many great kids in here who are going to be great friends and that you're going to have a lot of fun with. So if you need motivation, that's one thing. And if you need a little bit more motivation, if you like playing games, we play a lot of games and they're really, really fun games. For mom and dad, if you're thinking about it for your kids, I think putting your kids in some situations where they have to manage stress a little bit and overcome some of their fears in a controlled environment where you're able to watch and be close by is a really healthy thing for your kids to try. And we've had some great stories. There was one kid who sat on the bench and watched class every day for 2 months. And when we tried to get him on the mats, he would cry and wouldn't come on the mats. And then we were finally able to get him on the mats after 2 months. And now he's one of our best students and has fun here every day. And he's in here probably 4 or 5 days a week.
So that is all the questions for what to expect in the kids class. And wish you good luck starting your first class. And I'll see you on the mats.
Whoa. Oh, hey.
Man.
Sorry about that, guys, but we're back. hopefully these special effects aren't that bad. But thank you guys for sticking around. Um, but yeah, thank you, Rebecca. And like that, kids, don't be scared. Parents, I feel parents are more scared, right?
Really?
Sometimes.
I think it usually for me, what I see is like parents who are really trying to get their kids to
Uh-huh.
break out of their comfort zone and try new things.
Yeah.
So it's usually for me, it's less parents being nervous, but maybe,
Hmm.
maybe I should ask if you,
Yeah.
it's something I need to get better
Yeah. But hey, just come out and try it, right? 1 week trial. We
at.
talked about it.
1 week free trial.
Yeah. And free gi loaner. So don't
Mhm.
worry, just literally come in.
Yeah.
Alan and Marty will take care of you guys. Now for the adults, right? Kind of going over like the same questions pretty much, but maybe if it might even be the same. So if it's the same, that's fine. But I feel like for the adults, it might be like a little more nervous since kids are kind of used to, especially with school. And you said it right, like in a previous podcast that it's harder to make friends when we're adults,
Yeah.
right? So what would you say for someone to break the nerves of the first class for that adult?
Yeah. Um, I would say it's nowhere near what you think it's going to be. I've said this before in previous conversations. It's nowhere near what you think it's going to be. You're going to walk into the room. You're going to be welcomed in by everybody here. It's such a great room of people who are like super engaging. Um, and so I can really only speak for Adiyama, but this is typically true for most jujitsu schools. Is like you walk in and people are stoked for you to like welcome you and to help you get through it. Um, so you should look forward to that. You should look forward to walking in and like not necessarily people like embracing you and hugging you or anything like that, but people walking right up to you and being like, "Hi, I'm
Yeah.
Juan or I'm Ben or Waylon, Tyson, whoever it is, Josh." Like welcoming you in and being like, "Hey, first day, cool. Let me show you. I'll help you
Hmm.
with this. I'll help you with
Yeah.
that. Pair up with me." It's a really cool group of people that we have here.
Yeah. And I want to keep flowing into that, right? But before that, real quick on like what to wear, just shorts that don't have pockets or zippers,
Yeah,
right? Even like a Under Armour shirt
yeah,
if you have it. And if it's a gi day, like you said earlier, you guys have a loaner
yeah,
program. So again, to start, you just gotta show up. You don't gotta look like a black belt. You don't have to have the fanciest stuff, right?
yeah,
Just show up, and then even if you don't have all the gear, like it's not like you can't roll.
yeah,
But I wanted to go into that, like the flow. Like, literally, we're excited when we see new faces.
yeah,
Like we all love to train with each other, but even when it's someone new,
yeah,
and if we go right into like the flow of the class, I would say that like encourage it when you do come here or any other gym, in case you're watching us around the world, right? When you go to the gym, the biggest thing is like just go up to everyone. And
yeah,
people might already be stretching,
yeah,
as long as there's no like here we bow and we show respect to the mat. But then after that, walk up to them, say hi to people, even just a fist bump or like a head nod, right? Like I think I've seen people in the past, including myself, like I'll kind of try to hide and go to the side, but it's okay to
yeah,
approach people.
yeah, yeah. You should absolutely feel comfortable doing that. And if that's not like part of who you are from like a character standpoint, don't worry, people will walk up to you.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
like I try to make it a point when everybody walks in the door to welcome you and say hi and like start introducing you to people. So that's like the role the instructor tries to play, whoever it is, to try to like welcome you in and get you talking to people and people talking to you. So
Hmm.
you should expect that type of experience.
Yeah. And then once you say hi or like you do the intros, what's the flow of the class for the adults?
Yeah.
Because we don't play dodgeball or free tag.
No, we
We
don't get
should.
dodgeball or freeze
Fridays
tag,
at
which is
least.
fun.
That'd be wild.
But yeah, it's much more like workout focused in the adults class. So you'll walk in, find a spot, find a cubby to put your stuff, put your bag under the bench or something like that. You'll get suited up in your gi or whatever it is, or whatever gear you're wearing. You bow onto the mats. I don't have a lot of traditions. One of the traditions that I maintain is make sure you bow on and off the mats. If you're here a few minutes early, get some stretches, chat with everybody who's here. Then we start the class. We bow in. We do a warm up, 5-10 minute like jogging and some movements and things like that. Then I like to continue to warm up with like drills,
Hmm.
like the bread and butter drill, which is a very fundamental drill in jiu-jitsu, which is the linking of an arm bar, an omoplata, and a triangle choke, and like drilling that over and over with a partner, or like passing drills and things like that. Functional stuff that's going to get your blood
Hmm.
moving and get you sweating before we actually get into the technique. and then try to spend 20 minutes working on just the technique of the day. So we'll show a technique, you'll drill it, you'll come back, we'll build onto that technique, you'll drill it, we'll come back, we'll build onto that technique again, you'll drill it. And then we'll play like a jiu-jitsu game, specifics, situational games where it's like, I like King of the Hill, so everybody lines up on the wall, and there's a few people that are in the middle, and you get into specific situations, and you have specific objectives that you need to try to accomplish that are, related to what it is that we were learning for that day. We do that for 10 minutes, and then open mat, where you just have your partners, and you just spar and you roll. And that's where you get the best workout.
Yeah. And what I like is that it is the best workout, and it's tailored to you. It might sound weird, like how is this possible if there's like anywhere from 10 to 20 people. But even in the warm-ups, it's like we're all doing kind of the same warm-up, but it's at your level. So don't feel discouraged. And that's the biggest thing. Oh, once I get my cardio up, or once I'm more flexible. Like, no, like I can't do this move, but it's okay. Marty will walk by and he'll teach you how to adjust for your body, right? And that's the beautiful thing about your classes that I always say. It's always like related to what you're learning. Even like for example, my wife who's barely starting, we are learning some things that like to me were like, oh man, they're pretty advanced. But because in the same class, you're only focusing on that one thing that builds off of the first thing you learned from the class. Even for her, it makes sense. So it's like having that that structure makes it easy. So don't feel like you won't be overwhelmed, because it's literally building A, B, and C. It's not like you throw in something random in there.
For sure.
Said ecosystem.
Yeah, the ecosystem. Ellen knows she's starting too. I saw her in the women's class. Shout out Coach Maria. Shout out all the ladies Saturdays. What time?
7:30, 8:30 a.m. women's class, women's only class. With Coach Maria. She's a black belt world champion, and a great person, great group of women that are showing up and training. So
and this might be for you, right? If you're thinking about like, this is why we're making this podcast, so you know what to look for, right? And then kind of a little bit, how are you going to feel like physically and mentally as that adult, especially if it's maybe you haven't worked out in a long time.
You're typically more mentally exhausted than you are physically. It's kind of hard to tell in the moment. It just feels like exhaustion. But you'll go home and you'll sleep like the best that you slept in a long time, because you're just going to be so beat. But yeah, your mind is racing because you're listening to new concepts, and you're seeing things and moving your body in ways that you've never moved your body, even very slowly. Even when you're drilling, you're doing things like as slow as you possibly can do it, but it's stretching your brain in ways that your brain hasn't been stretched. So that can stress you out.
It's a mental workout.
It's a very mental focused workout that you're going to experience for your first couple of weeks. Then things will settle down, and will just like be very heavy physically on you. And like the physical part is like, you're going to have mat burns on your hands and feet and things like that. Those are going to be annoying, and you're going to be trying to figure that out. But like aches and pains that come with working out, like shoulder pain is very common. We have like 3 guys right now that are dealing with the same shoulder issue. It's so shoulder heavy in your movements. So you should expect that type of thing. Your abs are going to be sore because you're going to be doing a lot of core work. It's good stuff.
Yeah. And my tip as a white belt, like be like mentally, like expect to not be the best at it, right? I think with a lot of sports, you can come in and be like, oh, kind of understand the majority or the concept. You might be completely lost, and that's totally fine. And I hear stories like that, like even you're always completely lost, kind of, right? But just focus on learning, focus on breathing. I think it's that when we get tense,
focus on breathing. Focus on breathing. A lot of people forget to do that.
Last thing we talked a little bit, gym etiquette, right? We talked a little bit about like, here we bow on the mat. What are some other things, even just like tapping early, right? Or things like that, and like being aware. Not being wild with your teammates.
There's not a lot, but here's a couple of big ticket items. Don't walk outside or in the bathroom. If you want to make people dislike you fast at any jiu-jitsu school, walk outside barefoot, walk into the bathroom barefoot, and then try to step onto the mats. You're going to make people mad. You're going to make people mad because it's very important. It should be very important at every school that cleanliness and health is a top priority. It definitely is here. And so if you're stepping outside and stepping into the bathroom and then stepping on the mats where our faces are making contact with the mat, and you're bringing those germs into contact with us, you're gonna make some people upset. So if you step off the mat, put your sandals on right away, and walk outside. Don't wear shoes onto the mat. Shoes or sandals. Don't wear any shoes of any kind onto the mat. That's basically walking outside and in the bathroom and tracking that stuff onto the place where we're working and sweating and exposing ourselves. Yeah, putting our faces and things like that. So no shoes on the mats. If you want to see me or any like an instructor go from 0 to 60 very quickly, where we have to try to control ourselves, step onto the mat with shoes on or something like that. That's a trigger for me.
My instructor, Ellen.
Yeah,
I see Ellen tackle something.
Yeah.
She put that double leg takedown.
Yeah. We take that very serious.
Yeah.
It's okay that you don't know coming in. You know, everybody gets a pass the first time. We have mops and we have sanitizers and things like that, but do not do it. If you watch this and you walk into a school and step onto the mat, right to jail, as Tyson said.
Straight.
You go straight to jail.
Yeah. You don't pass go either.
Yeah, straight to jail.
Yeah. And that's why we're doing this, right? So that
this is your information.
maybe we can, we'll get all the new students a link and be like, watch this.
Yep.
I want you got to sign that you watched it.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Another one is you should be washing your gi every night. You're going to sweat a lot. So go home, put the gi in the washing machine, make sure that it's sanitized.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing. You don't want your sweat sitting in your gi and then bringing it back in here and letting those, that marinate and bring it in here.
Literally marinating.
Yeah.
Or in the car.
Yeah. So wash your gear often and repeatedly so that you're fresh when you come in here. Again, taking care of each other, being clean is one of the most important things that you can do. And what else can we call it?
And then nails.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Fingernails and toenails. Cut your fingernails. We have nail clippers here so that you can cut your fingernails. Toenails is less about, fingernails is about scratching your partners.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. Toenails is like you're doing takedowns and stuff like that. You don't want it to peel your toenail off. So clip all those nails off to take care of your bodies and take care of your partners. Shower, be clean. If you were working all day and sweating like crazy and things like that, rinse yourself off before you come in.
Yeah. And that's like on the hygiene end, and then on the partner safety end, right? Like for newer people, like it's like, hey, like start off like we said it, you started off in the kids portion, saying how we are learning dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
And like that too, I think it's like being respectful in the sense of like
going slow,
especially when you're learning.
Yeah.
So that way you can also feel, because again, it's a lot of input, right? You're feeling, sometimes even professors telling you like, hey, move your head this way. So you're listening, you're trying to control someone's body, and you just get lost in the moment and the flow. And if you like yank something, you might not even feel them tap. So be mindful. That's something I try to remind myself always is like, hey, I'm about to shoot this submission. I need to be mindful of my friend and like if he's tapping, right? And then one thing I need to get better at is like tapping early too, because then you don't want to put your friend in the position where it's like he's doing the submission, and I know I got already, but I don't stop. So tapping early too. So being mindful of that.
One of the most important lessons that I ever learned when I started jiu-jitsu is, hey, if you get hurt more than half the time, it's usually your own fault because you didn't tap soon.
Yes.
So if you feel any discomfort that you're unfamiliar with or you're uncomfortable with, you need to tap so that it stops. The rule is when somebody taps, the other person stops immediately. And if you don't, whether it's because you're naive or because you're prideful, then that's on you. And you need to be thoughtful and not put your partner in a place where they hurt you. Because if your partner's trying to get an arm bar and you're not tapping, what you're telling them is they don't have it.
Yeah.
They crank harder.
Or I'm not doing it right.
Yeah, I'm not
squeezing more when it's already isn't there.
when it's all there.
Yeah, I didn't think of
So
that.
like you're signaling the wrong things to your partner when you don't tap. And you're making it more dangerous for you.
Yeah.
So you need to think about that and take care of yourself. Like we try to take care of each other, but you need to be responsible for taking care of yourself.
Yeah. And we need each other. But that's true most of the time, even for me, like when I felt like, oh, I'm a little more sore, it was because I'm like, oh, it was locked in and I pushed it a little more. On this one, for the next one, just a couple of these bullets, like what not to do. We talked about like, hey, make sure you're breathing, but then also on the intensity level, right?
Yeah, I think the intensity level is an interesting question or quick interesting thing to think about. The way that I think about intensity is I mirror my opponent. So when I come in and I roll with somebody, I let them dictate the pace because some people want to go and they want to roll really hard. And some people don't. Actually, most people don't want to roll really hard. Most people want to get a good workout. They don't want to try to kill each other.
Yeah.
And there are some people who are in here to see how far they can push themselves, and they're looking for partners to do that. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Like that's totally okay. There are some people that are going to do that. And so on intensity level, my advice to you is to one, talk to me or one of the instructors about who you pair up with so that we can put you, especially if you're a beginner, with somebody who is not going to go 10,000% on you. And you'll be a deer in headlights. One, and then two, say no. When someone walks up to you and says, hey, do you want to roll? And you were just looking and saw them like rip a guy's shoulder off.
Yeah.
Don't be like, I have to do. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Not only do you not have to, you don't have to give any explanation either. You can just say no. Hey, I'm not, I'd rather not roll. Sorry about that. Thank you. And they're going to be like, okay, cool. And they're going to move on. Like that's the thing here. But on intensity level, it's what you want from it. You come in and you can go at your own pace, and there's plenty of people who are willing to do that with you.
Yeah.
Like also keep in mind, if you're coming into this and you're more of like a thrill seeker and you want like a really intense workout, trust me, you don't have to go 10,000% to get that.
No.
You're going to get it. Because your first couple of weeks, maybe in first couple of months, you're just going to be surviving. So you can throw 10,000% at it. What you're going to learn is that just gets you subbed faster. So being, slowing it down and being more thoughtful about the way you roll is actually better for you. But that's my thoughts on intensity. And there's like days where we'll have more intense days, we have a lot of people competing. Juan's competing. We Shark Tanked him. I'm competing. I put Juan,
What's a Shark Tank?
A Shark Tank is, we got 12 people in the class and we put 12 minutes on the clock and each person rolls with Juan. Every minute we switch a person out, a fresh person in to roll with Juan for 12 minutes. He just rolls 12 minutes straight. And just so you know, 12 minutes is a long time to be especially 2 minutes is
and
long.
Competition fresh, everyone coming in.
Yeah, and everybody comes in fresh and while you're gasping for air. And we do that to help you build your cardio and put you in the mindset of competition.
Yeah.
But you're going to have opportunities to go really hard if you want to.
I like that. One thing I never thought of, like, because you hear that a lot, especially like in posts and podcasts, like to say no, right?
Yeah.
But even now, since we have the opportunity to share with you guys, like, and especially for those of you that's not your first class, but thank you for still watching. If someone says no to you, it's all good. Just you'll find someone else. It's not even personal, right? I think it could be easy, like to attach some kind of emotion.
Yeah.
Right? Or like, oh, either they don't like me or am I too hard or am I not hard enough? But it's like, hey, they just don't want to roll with you right now, right? But it's okay to ask too. It's okay to ask too.
Yeah. And I think if someone turns you down for a role, that's time to start thinking about like why did they turn you down?
Or ask your professor too.
Yeah, and talk to the coach, talk to the instructor, and like, am I viewed as aggressive? Am I viewed as aggro? And I answer that question honestly to anybody who asks me. Sometimes it's they're not ready for what you bring to a role, and that's all. Like, and that's why they don't want to roll with you. But like, it's an honor to be viewed as somebody who can roll with anybody. Who everybody is willing to roll with you. You should view that as an honor, especially women. Like if women are comfortable rolling with you, you should feel like you have won something within the school, because that means that you are viewed as somebody who is like good at taking care of the people that you roll. You know, like a 180-pound guy can't go 100% with a 115-pound woman. Yeah, anyone. You know what I mean? Like you just can't go at the same speed. You can't use the same muscle. You have to think technically, and you have to put yourself in their situation. Still give them a challenge, and give them scenarios. And you have to be like, this is my opportunity to like really focus on technique.
Yeah, and make it fun. It makes it fun.
Yeah.
I see that.
And that should be like a goal that you should have as you're coming into school, is be somebody that everybody will roll with.
Last thing, so you got someone, hopefully this inspires you to, even if you don't sign up, we don't ask you to sign up, but like, that's how much we believe in it. That's why we're here. It's past 8:30 p.m. just to make a podcast to motivate you guys, not even to join us. Ariyama, obviously, if you want to join the best ones, right? Join us. Hashtag orange crush, right? But just go and learn something. So now that you've been through like this 20-something minute podcast and you're like, hey, either me or my kid or both of you, because if you're going to be pushing your kid to do it, you better be on there too, right?
For dads, you got to maintain dominance.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's why. Yeah. Rebecca was a 2-stripe belt, and I was over here with 1 stripe. Yeah. You know who sat at the head of the
her every time he sees her.
I had to bow to her. She lined up before me. She ate before me. It was wild. But now we're tied. Now we're tied, but she's still at the head. We know who's the head still. But now someone's convinced and they want to join. Like, what are the 3 things for someone to come in? They got the gear, they got the etiquette. How do they get the most out of those first couple classes?
Come in, build as much of a relationship with everybody that you meet as possible. Because it's the connections with people and like those conversations on the side where somebody was like, hey, you know, I saw this last week. This would probably really help you. This has been working for me. You pick up those tips, not just from in the training, but from people who are talking to you and you're having conversations. And they really support you through the toughest times too. Like they're that shoulder to lean on. That's 1. 2, you know, be a good partner to everybody that you roll with. Try to be the best partner to everybody that you roll with. That kind of ties into what I said a few moments ago about like being the person that everybody wants to roll with. But look at everybody and every interaction that you have with not what do I need out of this, but what does he need out of this. And you're going to be viewed as a really, really good partner. And if you're doing that for them, they're going to do that for you, right? To make sure that you get the most out of your experience with them. And 3, like, don't terrorize yourself. Everybody comes in and is bad. Everybody comes in and is bad. The worst thing that you could do is like leave and go down a toilet drain about, you know, how hard this was, or that you thought you were never going to get. I have a really good friend named Ryan. I don't think he would have a problem with me. I've like bothered him for 10 years to come try. He was a super fit dude, weightlifter, like CrossFit guy. He's like, looked like he's chiseled out of granite. Came in and tried jiu-jitsu for the first time and he was like floored
after 10 years.
After 10 years of me bugging him. He's addicted now. He's a 2-stripe blue belt now, and he's making great progress. But him and I used to talk after class. We'd be standing in the parking lot, and he was like, man, I can't believe I just thought being as strong and as fit as I am, I would be able to put up a better fight, and not at all, right? And like the worst thing that you can do is be super hard on yourself about that.
Yeah, and all I have is like have fun. That's literally it. Like most of us were always laughing, or you feel better after class, like literally. Like, especially if you're in the 5.
Never regret it.
You're still half asleep, but then you're like, okay, I'm awake, and there's never any regret. So thank you guys for sticking along this whole time. Remember maybe like the 5th last tip, right? Is like just take it 1 roll at a time. That's why we named it this, because you can learn from that previous roll, and it's not even the full 5-minute roll. It's like, all right, I got submitted in 10 seconds. That's a roll. Then the next 10 seconds. So just get better every day. Come by and check us out at Ariyama. And where can they learn more about you?
They could go to our website. They could go to our Instagram at AyamaBJJ. And is there any place else?
Man, follow us on One Roll at
Oh
a
yeah,
Time,
one roll at a time.
Spotify, and YouTube.
Yep.
We'll see you later. Thank
Take
you.
care. Thank you.